Friday night, late night NFL 30-minute debate coming up for you on the All the Talk, All the Sports podcast. King Klein, Caden Moyer, and Maxwell Lawler, along with Eli Hauser, will all be sharing their Week 11 predictions for this week, along with topics all across the NFL. We will be debating and discussing. I have a crazy segment coming for you called Is It Crazy?, where I will make a statement and they call it crazy or not. It's going to be an awesome 30-minute NFL debate episode coming up on All the Talk, All the Sports. I'm now joined with King Klein, Jay Wolf, Maxwell Lawler, and Eli Hauser. Caden Moyer decided he couldn't make it, so the intro you just watched is wrong, so Jay Wolf is going to take his spot. I had Moyer with the topics, but Caden Klein also bought into the podcast later on. So it's a whole mess here, but we are going to get this done. It is a 30-minute NFL debate. The first 10 minutes, we will be talking predictions, minimal explanations. So just predictions for all of the games, Week 11. Then the next 10 minutes, we'll do the Is It Crazy segment that I have discussed in the intro. And then the last 10 minutes, we'll do debate questions that I have planned out. And the 30 minutes starts as soon as my phone cooperates. The 30 minutes starts now. So we'll start with you, Caden Klein. Give me your prediction for the Packers and Colts on, the Eagles and Browns on Sunday.
Eagles-Browns. I'm going to go with the Eagles win here.
All right, Jay.
Eagles.
Eli, down to you.
Taking Eagles in a bounce back.
Max.
I'll take the Eagles on this one as well.
I'm going with the Browns. I really love this Browns team, so I'm going Browns. Falcons, Saints. Eli.
I'm going to take the Saints.
Max.
I'll take the Saints as well.
Jay.
I'm going to go with the Falcons.
Going with the Falcons, mixing it up. Caden Klein.
I'm going to go Saints as well. Actually, Falcons.
All right, so two Falcons in the top left corner. I'm going with the Saints. The Saints are rolling right now. Bengals, Washington. Eli.
I'm going to take Cincy.
Max.
I'll take Cincinnati because Joe Burrow's on my team.
Lions, I forgot you guys and myself. King Klein. Bengals, Washington.
I'm going to take the football team.
Jay.
The Bengals.
All right, I'm going to take the Bengals as well. Lions, Panthers. Eli.
I'm going to take the Panthers.
Over to you, Max.
I'll take the Lions on this one.
King Klein.
Panthers.
Jay.
Panthers.
I'm going to go with the Lions on this one. Steelers and Jaguars. This game might not be close at all. King Klein, we'll start with you.
Steelers.
Jay, over to you.
Steelers.
Eli.
Steelers blow up.
Max.
Steelers.
Steelers in this one. This isn't even going to be close. The Jaguars are awful, especially with their quarterback troubles. And I saw some about Shenault not being in as well. Titans and Ravens. No Ravens pick from Caden Moyer. How sad is that? Eli.
I'm going to take Baltimore.
Max.
Take Baltimore.
King Klein.
I'm going to go with the Ravens.
Jay.
Titans.
I'm going Ravens. They bounce back after that loss from New England. New England and Texans. Eli.
Taking Houston.
Interesting. Max.
Oh, I definitely got Houston in this one.
Klein.
Houston.
All Houston so far. Jay, does anything change?
Nope. Texans.
All right, I'm going to go with New England in this one. Dolphins and Broncos. We'll start with you this time, Max.
I'm taking the Dolphins.
Over to you, Eli.
Take the Dolphins too.
Jay, we'll go to you.
I'm going to go with the Broncos.
Interesting. Broncos have not been doing great. A lot of Broncos picks that have not gone the Broncos' way. King Klein.
I'm going to go Tua keeps rolling. I'm going to go Dolphins.
I got the Dolphins as well. Jets and Chargers. Eli.
Say Chargers.
Max.
Chargers.
Jay.
Chargers.
Klein.
Chargers.
I got the Chargers as well. Jay, we'll start with you on this one. Cowboys and Vikings.
Vikings.
Caden Klein.
I'm gonna go Vikings as well.
Eli,
I'm gonna take Dallas.
Max.
I'll take the Vikings.
I'm going to go with the Vikings as well. I think the Vikings are starting to heat up as the season progresses. Chiefs and Raiders. I forget what exact division this is, but these are two teams in the division that could possibly battle it out for first place. Max, we'll start with you. Chiefs and Raiders.
I'm taking the Chiefs on this one.
Eli,
Chiefs.
Caden Klein,
Chiefs.
Jay.
I'm going Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders are looking really good right now, but I'm going to go with Kansas City. The Monday night game, the Rams and the Buccaneers. Caden Klein, we'll start with you.
Bucks.
Jay,
Rams.
Eli,
Bucks.
Max.
Rams.
I'm going to go with the Rams as well. I totally forgot we were moving so fast that I forgot to share our last week's picks rankings. Jay, you had 6 correct picks last week. Caden Moyer, Caden Klein, and Eli Hauser all had 7, and I had 9 correct picks last week. So that puts our totals up into the double digits numbers for all of us. Jay, you've only been on 1, so you haven't been on double digits yet. So that concludes our segment on predictions. That only took us 5 minutes, so that means more time to debate. It's time to play Is It Crazy? I sent you guys a list of topics. I'm going to read that statement. You have to call it crazy, or if you actually think it's going to happen, then give your explanation on why it's going to happen. Max, the topic I gave you is the Steelers finished the regular season undefeated.
Personally, I think the Steelers can finish the season undefeated. They don't have a very tough schedule ahead of them. I think that their defense is doing well, and I think Big Ben can pull it off.
Interesting. King Klein, we'll start with you, with your team being the Steelers. Let's defend them.
I'm gonna agree with him. I'm gonna say that they can. I'm not sure if they will, but I think it's a very good possibility. All they have to do is they have 3 tough teams ahead of them: the Bills, the Ravens, and the Colts. If they can pull off those 3 games, as long as they don't have a fluke game, they should go 16-0.
Jay, anything you would like to add on into this conversation?
No, you said it all.
Eli, what do you have to say about the Steelers?
I think it's crazy. I mean, they got the Ravens, they got the Browns, they got the Colts, and the Bills. I mean, those are 4 legitimate playoff contending teams, and I don't think they can sustain their winning. I mean, against the Ravens, their first half offense was awful. I mean,
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Eli on this one because they do have the Ravens and Bills. Those are both going to be tough games. Then they have Cleveland in Week 17. Last podcast, I brought up Cleveland's bad weather in their history. Pittsburgh's not far from Cleveland, so it might not necessarily be weather, but with the Steelers having that division clinched, they might not be playing their number 1 guys, and the Browns might take that game from them at the end of the season. I think it's very possible that the Steelers do go undefeated the whole season, but I think they lose 1 or 2 games possibly on the back end of this season. So anything else you guys would like to add in there?
Yes, Gary. I would like to say that if the Steelers were 15-0, I think they would start their starters week 17 just
to get that undefeated. Yeah, and I think that's true as well. And that also comes into play if they do lose to the Ravens or Bills. And there's also a couple other fluke games in there that they possibly might lose. I think it's crazy, but you guys all made excellent points, so we'll move on to the next topic. Eli, you have the next topic. The Browns and or Titans make the playoffs.
I think the Browns will make it. I mean, their schedule for the rest of the season it's interesting, but they have the Eagles, Jags, Titans, Ravens, Jets, and Steelers. There are some gimme games in there like the Jags and the Jets, but then there's some tough ones like the Steelers and the Ravens. They just got Nick Chubb back, but unfortunately they just lost Myles Garrett due to COVID. So that's going to hurt them at least this week versus Philly. And I think they'll make it. The Titans, they worry me a little bit just because they're making Ryan Tannehill throw the ball. 5 of the last 6 games, they've made him throw 30-plus times, which is just too much when you have a running back like Derrick Henry. So he needs to get 25 to 35 touches a game for them to be successful, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree exactly with you. I think the Browns make the playoffs and the Titans do not. I do not have any notes on the Titans, but I do have some notes on the Browns. The Browns are playing relatively good football. They are a 6-3 team right now. And like you said, they do have a bunch of games that are winnable. It's going to come down to those divisional games against the Steelers and Ravens. They pull a win out of one of those two games, and I think they can easily make the playoffs. They got the Eagles, Jaguars, and Jets. Like you mentioned, I think those are 4 easy wins for the Browns. So I think the Browns make the playoffs and the Titans miss the playoffs. Max, what do you think?
I can't agree more with what you and Eli said. I think that the Browns are definitely going to make it, and I don't think that the Tennessee Titans will come close, but they won't make it.
Caden Klein, do you have different opinions on this topic?
I don't think either of them are going to make it. If I see one of them making it, it's going to be the Browns. The Titans this year, they looked really good coming out of the gate. After they lost to the Steelers that 1 week, it's been downhill from there. And, yeah.
All right, so
Wait, I have a question for Caden. Who are they, like, who's gonna make the playoffs over them? Like, I just don't see another team that's better than the Browns going forward that has an easy schedule.
I mean, so you got the Chiefs,
Yeah,
Steelers, Ravens, Colts, Bills. That's 5.
Yeah, but the Chiefs are going to
Yeah.
win the division, I think.
4 of those
And I
are
think
division
one of
winners.
these teams is going to be a wild
Yeah.
card spot. They
Raiders,
get in a wild card.
Raiders, and Dolphins. That's 7 right there.
Okay. Max,
Dude,
anything you'd like to add in? Jay, I
Nope.
totally skipped over you on this topic. Anything you would like to add in?
I think that both of them will make it.
Interesting. Both make it there. So that would be would they both make wild card spots or one of them win the division?
I think the Browns will win the wild card, or they'll make the wild card because they're beating the Steelers in the race. And the Titans, I think they could pull it out, winning the division.
So we are around 19 minutes remaining in this 30-minute debate section of the podcast. So we'll go to what was supposed to be Moyer's topic. Hopefully you even got enough time to see this, Klein and Jay. The Jets don't win a game this season. Do you disagree or agree?
You can go first, Jeff.
I disagree because I think they can beat the Patriots at the end of the year. That's their only chance. But I think that'll be a close game.
Max, I'm sorry, Caden. This is still your topic.
I don't think it's crazy. I think it's definitely possible, but I think that there's a real shot that they go in 16. I think they will go in 16 because I think the Patriots will pull out the Week 17 game, and if they don't win the Week 17 game, they're going on 16. So.
Eli and Max, I both saw you nodding your heads. Eli, what do you have to say?
I mean, I think they're going to go in 16. I mean, they're dead last in passing yards, receiving yards, and total yards. I mean, that's awful. And they're top 5 worst in every statistical defensive category. That's just – you're not going to win. You're not going to win games like that. And Adam Gase is definitely part of the problem. But, I mean, New York, they don't have a good roster right now. I mean, they're definitely looking towards the future. They got 2 first-round picks this year. So hopefully they can make the most out of them.
Yeah, I'd like to build off the last part you played on, and that was the roster. The roster is awful. They don't have one standout name on that team. It's a bunch of puzzle pieces that just don't fit together. Nothing's clicking there. The head coach, Adam Gase, is not making it any better for sure. I have the Jets going 0-16. They are averaging 13.4 points a game. That is awful. That is horrendous. They have played 9 NFL football games. They have only found the end zone 11 times. That is it's almost a touchdown a game.
Gary,
Gary,
Chase Claypool's found the end zone 9 times this year.
That's one player, and this is a whole NFL franchise. Only found the end zone 11 times this season. They go 0-16, no question. This is not crazy at all. Max, what do you have to say? And it appears as if he's frozen. So, is he back? Max, do you have anything to add on?
What are we even talking about?
We'll skip him for this one. We were talking about the New York Jets. I think we covered all the topics necessary. So the next topic that I would like to talk about is yours, Max, if you can hear us. The Dolphins make the playoffs and the Patriots miss the playoffs.
Personally, I think the Dolphins have a better shot than the Patriots. Tua is a great quarterback. Miami defense is great. I'm not saying that the Patriots defense is bad, but I don't think that New England can pull it off, especially with, Cam Newton. I mean, come on, it's Cam Newton. But I think Tua can do it and their defense.
So do you agree with the statement that the Dolphins make the playoffs and the Patriots miss the playoffs?
Yes.
Okay. Caden Klein, what do you have to add on?
Dolphins are making the playoffs. I'm on this Tua hype train then. He looks like a stud. I mean, his first week didn't look great. Didn't make any mistakes, but his defense carried him versus the Rams. But, yeah, I'm all for this. And, yeah, the Patriots aren't making the playoffs. They look awful. I don't think there's a shot. So, yeah, I agree with the statement.
Yeah, someone get a stat line on this. When would this be like the first time in X amount of years for the Patriots to miss the playoffs? Because I really should have researched that before I came on. But
Probably somewhere
Jay,
around –
it's what?
Sorry.
No, you
I said
go.
probably somewhere around 2000s, like before
Yeah.
Brady.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is Brady's first year gone with that team. Jay, what do you have to say about this statement?
Yeah, I agree because Patriots look god awful, and the Dolphins, their defense is really, really good, and Tua is looking nice. So I think they'll pull it out and make the playoffs.
Eli, what do you have to say?
I do think the Patriots will miss it, but I also think the Dolphins will miss it. I mean, their last 4 games, the Chiefs, Patriots, Raiders, and Bills, that's a tough stretch. That's got to be one of the tougher 4 stretch games in the league. And Tua hasn't been great. I mean, they haven't made him do anything that is out of his comfort zone, which I think is good for a quarterback, but that defense has just been so good lately. I mean, and the Patriots, I know they're not a great team, but they will be fighting for a playoff spot at the end of the year. I mean, and then they got the Broncos, Jets, and Bengals, which are rebuilding franchises right now. So I think they miss it by a game or 2.
All right, so the last time that the Patriots missed the playoffs was in 2008, and Brady missed all but 1 game with a torn ACL. Brady obviously has not played a single game for the Patriots this season, and I think they very well missed the playoffs, and I think the Dolphins missed the playoffs as well. Keaton Klein, you had a hand up.
I was gonna say, yeah, they haven't missed the playoffs since 2008, and before that it was before 2000.
Yep, so let's move on to the next topic. Looking at all the topics we covered, we'll go to Eli with this topic that I sent to you. The NFC East finishes the season with no team over 500. Is it crazy?
This is not crazy at all. I mean, the NFC East is one of the worst divisions ever. I mean, this is crazy. And the Eagles, I think it's pretty clear that the Eagles are they're the best team in the NFC East. And they have one of the toughest schedules left, like, for the rest of the season. I mean, you just listen to this. They got the Browns, the Seahawks, the Packers, the Saints, the Cardinals, the Cowboys, and the football team. That is – I mean, Carson Wentz, they're getting healthy, but I don't know how much that's going to matter. I mean, they're competing against, I think, all those teams right now are playoff teams except the Cowboys and the football team. Like, I think the Eagles will finish at 6-9-1 or 7-8-1, but I do not think they'll be 500.
So this is what I have to say. The Eagles play the Seahawks, Packers, Saints, and Cardinals back to back to back. That is 4 losses, no question. They're going to be defeated after that. I have the Giants winning 3 more games. I have Washington not winning another football game this season, and I have the Cowboys winning 2 more games. This is an awful division. I think this statement is crazy. I think there's no way a team makes one of them is going to make the playoffs, but I don't think a team in this division is going to finish 500. Caden Klein.
I'm gonna say, it's not crazy. It's very possible that this division, not a single team makes it above 500. But I think if there is a team it's gonna be the Eagles. I think they beat the Browns this weekend. I think they beat the football team week 17 and the Cowboys week 16, which leaves those 4 games that you were talking about left. And if they pull out one of those, I think they'd have 8 wins, if my math is correct.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It would be 7.
It would be 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd have to pull off 2 of those games in order to get 8. So it's possible, but I think nobody's going to be over 500 this year.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that one of these teams is going to be hosting a playoff game. Jay, anything you'd like to add on?
I think no team's gonna finish above 500 because the Eagles are probably gonna lose 2 of those 3 hard games, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's an awful division.
Here,
Max,
I have a question.
yeah,
So-
go
sorry.
ahead, Eli.
If, let's say, hypothetically, Carson Wentz he finishes his season off how he finished it last year, and they end up somehow over 500, how do you look at Carson Wentz going forward?
How do I look at Carson Wentz going forward? I think that's an interesting
He's
question
trash.
because Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts are such different style quarterbacks. Who do you want as your franchise quarterback? If it's up to me, it's Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is not a bad quarterback. He's had to deal with injuries this season. This season has been crazy to begin with. I think Carson Wentz, when healthy, when on his A game, is a perfect quarterback in essence for that Eagles team. Max, you're shaking your head. What do you have?
Well, first I'm going to start off with the division. Nobody's finishing over 500. The division is trash. But QB-wise for Carson Wentz, I think, he's a waste of money. Past couple of years, all he's been doing is getting injured every game, and he's been sitting on the bench making money. That ain't how you make money. You make a lot more money when you play and you show yourself. Carson Wentz ain't been doing that. Carson Wentz be like a baby sitting crying on the field. No. I think they have better options to choose. I think they should let go Carson Wentz and get a new QB because obviously he just sucks.
Go with Jalen Hurts, the QB they just drafted. Jay, we'll go to you.
I think Carson Wentz sucks right now because he does not have a single weapon around him besides Boobie Sanders and Zach Ertz, but Zach Ertz is hurt.
Yeah, Caden Klein, last thing we add on here, then we'll move on to the next topic.
I'm going to say that Carson Wentz, before the season there was debates about Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz. I think this is a clear answer now. It's Dak Prescott has been better than Carson Wentz. I'm not sure if it's because Carson Wentz hasn't had weapons, like Jay said, because in that Super Bowl season he had weapons and he looked like an MVP, and I think he would have won MVP if he didn't tear his ACL. So, I mean, we'll see when he gets weapons, but as of right now, Dak Prescott's a better QB, but I'm taking Carson Wentz as franchise quarterback, no doubt.
Yeah, I agree. Carson Wentz all the way for sure as the franchise quarterback in Philly. These next 2 topics were supposed to be both about the NFC West. We're running out of time, believe it or not. We're around 8 minutes, so we're going to skip the last Is It Crazy segment. That wraps up Is It Crazy? It's been a fun segment for sure with a lot of good debates. Who wins the NFC West? Jay.
I think the Cardinals will pull it off because they've looked pretty good, and the Seahawks, I think they'll lose at least 3 of their last games, 3 or 4.
We'll go to you, Max. Who wins the division?
I think I'd have to go with the Cardinals on this one with Kyler and D-Hop. He's always looking for him, no matter where he's on the field. Kyler's always running the ball, always getting yards. And then he's also got Larry Fitzgerald. I think the Cardinals will do it.
King Klein, I see you're looking at notes, so we'll go to Eli, then we'll go to you to finish off.
Okay, so I think it's Seattle. I don't think this is close. I mean, they finished off with the easiest schedule in football. I mean, they got the Eagles, the Giants, the Jets, the football team, the Rams, and the 49ers. Like those are at least 4 or 5 easy wins for that Seattle team. And they're the third best team against the run, and they've faced elite rushers like Kyler Murray, Ezekiel Elliott, and Dalvin Cook. I mean, that secondary is getting better. They limited DeAndre Hopkins last night and made Kyler throw the ball to other people. So,
King Klein.
I'd say the Cardinals have I'm going to say the Seahawks. I say the Cardinals have 3 guaranteed wins, the Rams have 2, and the Seahawks have 4. And when it comes down to it, if the Seahawks win all 4, they'd win the division by a game. And I think it'll be the Seahawks. So, yeah.
I'm going to disagree with all of you. I'm going with the Los Angeles Rams. They play 2 games yet against the Cardinals, and they play 1 game against the Seahawks. They win 2 of those 3 games. I think they make the playoffs and win that division. So anyone else want to add anything else before we move on to the next topic? All right, so we're all good. Let's name a coach on the hot seat. Who's ready to go? We'll go with you, Max.
Don't go with me.
All right, he doesn't have a coach. Over to King Klein.
I'm going to go crap, I forget his name. The Cowboys coach.
Oh, you
Mike
stole
McCarthy.
mine.
Mike McCarthy. Yeah, he's on the hot seat. I don't think he'll get fired right now because I think they'll give him another opportunity with Dak Prescott. But yeah, I mean, if they do bad next season, they might even fire him after this season.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy has a Super Bowl. He was mine on the hot seat as well. Dallas has talent, and when talent doesn't click, it's clearly something on the coaching. This guy is a great coach when he wants to be. I don't think his assistants are helping him out that much either. But Dallas has so much talent, especially with Prescott. I think McCarthy has to change something up next season, or he's gonna go. Jay.
I have Anthony Lynn because he choked 17-point leads like 4 times. It is, and Justin Herbert just looks like a star. And
Eli Hauser.
Haircut.
I'm taking Doug Peterson. I mean, they have a good roster, healthy or not, and his play calling offensively is just awful. I mean, 3rd and 4th down where games on the line, and it's just been easy to decipher calls. I mean, it's painful to watch. I mean, he's not putting him in the best position to win games.
Max, do you have a coach?
The more you think about it, Caden Klein be bringing up Mike McCarthy. The more you think about it, I'm going to have to agree with Caden Klein on this. I was listening to your debates, and Mike McCarthy was a good coach for the Packers when he wanted to be, like Gary said. But I don't think he's making it out of this season. After this season, he's definitely getting fired.
All right. Who is the best quarterback in the NFL? Eli Hauser.
Patrick Mahomes. I mean, come on. He's thrown 25 touchdowns and 1 interception this year. I mean, that's insane. I mean, the Chiefs are 8-1. He's doing this with a completion percentage of 65%. 5th in the league yards and 2nd in the league in passer rating, just behind Aaron Rodgers, one of the best QBs of all time. I mean,
you know who's ahead of him in yards? Russell Wilson. You know who's got a higher completion percentage? Russell Wilson with a 7. Now I can't even find my notes. A 70.7 completion percentage and almost 3,000 passing yards, leading the NFL this season. Russell Wilson is the best quarterback in the NFL. King Klein, are you changing my mind?
I am. I'm going to give you a solid answer. Big Bang.
Oh, no.
I'm kidding. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's not even close. Patrick Mahomes is just insane. Like, I think me and Eli were talking about this. There's a difference between the greatest quarterback and the best quarterback. And the greatest quarterback is Tom Brady, but the best quarterback ever is Patrick Mahomes. His skill level is just a different kind than anything we've ever seen.
He's a different breed.
Different than anything that's ever been seen on the NFL field. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes.
All right. Jay, who's the best quarterback in the NFL? Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, I got Patrick Mahomes. So, yeah, he only threw 1 interception, and it's, week 11? So, yeah, that interception to TD ratio is insane.
Max, who's your best quarterback right now in the NFL?
I think I'm going to take Russell Wilson. I know you all are gonna hate me for this, but I think Patrick Mahomes is a good QB. Yes, he's thrown one interception, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like he just can't last that long. Everybody thinks he will, but I don't think he will.
Okay.
And right now,
yeah.
I think Russell Wilson's better than him.
Yeah, I had Russell Wilson as well, but Patrick Mahomes is not just a good QB; he's a great QB. I mean, it was tough for me picking Russell Wilson, but I think Russell Wilson's the best in the NFL. Early bird Super Bowl predictions, our last topic on the podcast tonight. Caden Klein, you look excited to go. Let's go with you.
All right. I'm going to go with the Steelers. I mean, it's going to be the Steelers or the Chiefs. They're going to play in the AFC Championship. Whoever wins that game is going to win the Super Bowl.
Max.
That's what I'm going to say.
I'm gonna have to agree with Klein on this. You know, if you look at both teams, they're both solid, but I don't know. I think it will come down to the Chiefs and Steelers.
Eli.
I'm gonna take the Chiefs, and I think there are really only 3 teams in the AFC that can compete with the Chiefs. It's the Steelers, Ravens, and Bills. They all have offenses that can semi keep up with them and have good defenses. That's what's going to be important in playing the Chiefs. And then from the NFC, I have the Saints, Bucks, Seahawks, and Packers. Legit.
And there's time, but we have more time, so we're gonna keep finishing this. Eli, keep going.
They're all teams that should be able to represent the NFC. But my Super Bowl pick is the Chiefs against the Seahawks, and I'm gonna take the Chiefs in that.
Jay.
Well, I think my Super Bowl predictions are, I'm gonna go Steelers and Packers. I think the Packers will pull it off in the playoffs, and Aaron Rodgers has a lot of experience, so
Yeah.
I think he'll pull it off.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Packers and the Buffalo Bills. That's my early Super Bowl pick. I have the Packers winning it all. And the only thing that scares me about the Green Bay Packers is those 1 and 2 fluke games they have where they just don't show up. And in the playoffs, if you don't show up, obviously you're going home without a Super Bowl. So remember, this is our early bird Super Bowl predictions. Once the playoffs officially start, I'll have all of these guys back on to make our actual Super Bowl predictions. So it's been an awesome episode, an awesome 30-plus minutes of great debates for the NFL, something that this podcast needed, some good debates. So thank you guys for coming on. It's been a fun podcast. Make sure to subscribe to All the Talk, All the Sports on YouTube, and you can find us on Twitter and on Instagram at All the Talk, All the Sports. Signing off, Gary Wenzel, Eli Hauser, Max Lawler, Jay Wolf, and Caden Klein.